Vanakkam everyone. Today I begin the Madhyama Charitram, which is the second chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, the special book that I am reading during the course of Navaratri this year. The sage said, in days of yore there was a great war going on between the devas and the asuras for 100 years. The leader of the asuras was Mahisha, and that of the devas was Indra. But the devas were defeated by the powerful Rakshasas, and Mahishasura became the ruler of the devas in heaven. The defeated devas complained to Brahma. They all went to Vishnu and Rudra to tell the lamentable story. O lords, all of us are completely overthrown by the terrible Mahishasura. Surya, Indra, Agni, Yama, Varuna, all are defeated. We are now wandering on the earth like mortals. We have come to you for help. Kindly arrange for his destruction, for we have taken shelter in you. Hearing these words of the devas, Lord Vishnu was much wroth and opened the middle of his eyebrows. Rudra also opened his third eye. Brahma also opened his angry eye. There was a great and powerful effulgence bursting forth from the foreheads of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, even from the foreheads of all devas. An effulgence burst forth. All these effulgences were united together to form a dreadful power which was looking like a big mountain in size. All the quarters were illumined by this light, the essence of all the bodies of the celestial. That effulgence appeared in the form of a woman, powerful and great. From the effulgence of Shiva, her face was formed. Out of the power of Yama, her hairs were formed. Her hands were of the power of Vishnu, and her legs were of the power of Brahma. Thus all the parts of her body were formed out of the effulgent power of one or the other among the gods. She was the essence of all the celestial beings. All the devas were very glad to look at her. All the devas gave her their respective important weapons in order to fight the asuras. Shiva gave her his Trisula. Vishnu gave his Chakra. Varuna gave his Sankha. Agni gave his Shakti. The wind god gave the bow and arrows. Indra gave his Vajra, Ganta, Airavata. Brahma gave his Kamandalu. Yama gave his sword. Various devas gave her their garlands, precious ornaments, waist strings, rings, weapons, axes, lotuses, lions, rubies, gems, saris, drinking bowls, gorgeous paraphernalia of celestial power and glory. She roared once, and the whole sky and the earth began to tremble with shock. There was terrible echo. All the worlds began to shake. The oceans were disturbed. The heaven and the hell were trembling. The devas said, "Hail, hail, O powerful rider on the lion!" All the sages began to praise her through various hymns. The asuras saw the dreadful form approaching them, and they were unable to know what could that be. They immediately collected their army and stood against Devi. "Ah, what is this?" said Mahishasura in fear. He fell on Devi with all his followers in great fury. That Devi was covering the whole of the three worlds. Her bow and arrows produced such a fearful sound that the whole army of the Rakshasas began to lose strength in fear. She had thousands of hands with innumerable weapons. Then began the great fight between Devi and the asuras. Chikshura and Chamara, the commanders of the asura army, fought in the beginning with thousands of chariots. Then Udagra, another powerful Rakshasa, with his friend Asiloma, they came to Devi with crores of warriors surrounding her from all sides. Bashkala came with a stream of thousands of elephants and horses. Vidala Asura came with 50 weapons to destroy Devi. The chariots, elephants, horses and fighters on foot brought by Mahishasura had no number at all. There were so many that the whole world was not sufficient to hold them. But Devi was single with her lion. Then Mahishasura himself came there with crores and crores of elephants and horses, weapons and warriors to put an end to Devi. Some asuras threw their missiles on Devi, some threw their axes, some swords and some binding astras. Devi destroyed them all in a moment as if in sportful play. She threw on them all her divine weapons and in the twinkling of an eye, such a huge Rakshasa army was reduced to the earth. As if the Lord of the fire in the forest, the Asura Mahisha fell on the lion of Devi with all his weapons. Through every breath of Devi came out innumerable warriors who fell on the Asuras and leveled them to the ground. Then Devi blew her conch, the sound of which broke the hearts of many Asuras. With trisulas, chakras, maces and other divine astras, Devi threw them down. She threw down all the Asuras without mercy. There were mountains and mountains of dead Asuric bodies, and rivers of blood began to flow from these mountains. Some Asuras were cut in two. Some had broken their heads. Some were rendered senseless. Some were shorn to pieces. Some began to vomit blood, being heavily beaten. Heads of Asuras fell without number, some with and some without eyes. The ferocious lion of Devi tore the thighs of the Asuras and drank their blood to his heart's content. The commanders of the Asuras were killed. All the elephants, horses and chariots were crushed to pieces. Devi shone like the sun rising above the mountain of Asuras, while the devas showered rains of flowers from above.